Pro Bowl free agent linebacker Bobby Wagner is leaving Seattle after 10 seasons and heading home. 5-year deal with the LA Rams.
You bring in a guy like Bobby Wagner, all of a sudden you're Aaron Donald and say, okay, I know they were going to be serious anyway, but they're really serious about bringing somebody to help me.
Over or under?
Sean J. Willimax, ESPN Radio. By the way, we are presented by Progressive Insurance, and we're asking on the call-in line, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776, the biggest thing you've ever skipped, like event you've ever skipped, to go to a sporting event instead. You can hit us up. We'll talk about it later on. Evan, I'm hearing that NFL over-under music. Take it away.
Yeah, we're going to get to Bobby Wagner and the Rams and how it impacts them. Rams over-under set at 10.5. I want to get your guys' number on that in a second, but let's start. Chicago Bears, 6.5. Over or under, Key? Wins.
I say under. I think Chicago, new head coach, new coaching staff, just in general, young quarterback still trying to figure it out. I figure they're under 6.
Yeah, I'll take the under, too. I need to see more from Fields, and I think the loss of Allen Robinson is going to hurt them more than people think.
Taking the under. 6 games sounds right to me.
Yeah.
The Steelers are listed at 7.5. That would mean the first losing season for Mike Tomlin as head coach. So, over, under, 7.5 wins, Key.
I believe in Mitch Trubisky. I believe that they're going to do the right things, and it's over for me. Mike Tomlin's there as a head coach. Look, they still got some pieces in place. They lose Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously, but they got some other receivers. Their defense is going to get retooled. They're going to draft well. I think they're going to be over.
Keyshawn Johnson, I wrote it down, quote, I believe in Mitch Trubisky. April 1st. That was a great April 1st Fool's joke. I am going with the under. I am going to take Mike Tomlin not to make it to the playoffs.
If you'd have put $100 on Mike Tomlin to be over 500 and doubled your money every year that he's been head coach, you'd have $3 million plus right now, right? Okay, like, I'm not betting against Mike Tomlin. There's no way I'm taking the under, the over. Mike Tomlin, I'm telling you right now, will at worst be 8-1. I'll take 9-8.
New quarterback.
And by the way, these NFL over-unders are via Caesars Sportsbook. Let's move to the Packers. Important note, these are regular season wins, so 11.5 over-under regular season wins for the Packers, Key.
I think it's going to be over. I understand everybody's concerned about the wide receiver position and Aaron Rodgers allegedly taking all the money from everybody, but I think this team is in a poor division. They'll run through that division like the New England Patriots did for many years in the AFC East, and they'll get over 11.5 wins for sure and find themselves probably having the number 1 seed in the NFC.
I'll say under for right now until I know who else they will have as wideout options for Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball to. But I assume I will eventually pick over once they make some moves.
I'll take the over in the regular season. They win 13 games a year since LaFleur's been there. But show up in the playoffs, guys. Come on. Aaron Rodgers, you got to show up a little better than that in the playoffs.
It's the regular season we're talking about.
That's why I said I'll take the over.
Hold on, okay, let's do it. Over, under, a half of a playoff win for the Packers in 2022, 2023. Over, under, half a playoff win.
I'm going to go over. I think that the Green Bay Packers are moving in the right direction. The division puts them in great position, and Aaron Rodgers already knows, guys, that he cannot go home early again. He just can't.
I'll go over. I just think it's set up for the Packers or the Bucks to win the NFC.
I like the Rams.
Set up.
I like the Niners over them. I think they could beat the Cardinals. I think they could beat the Cowboys, but I mean, maybe I'll take the over. Maybe they can get one playoff win. Big deal.
You really trust in Jimmy G that much? And don't
he
get
just beat him.
But no,
Stop
going back to his argument. Stop.
They just played. Wait, guys. They just played each other in the playoffs, and Jimmy G's team won. Just now, like just happened.
Say Jimmy G's team won. Don't say
fine.
Jimmy G beat Green Bay.
Well, you know how he tries to make it key.
Yeah,
you know he tries to do these quarterback matchups. Get out of here.
Time out. The question was Packers wins. So sorry if we're conflating Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. I'll do the same thing with Jimmy G.
Just say Jimmy G's team. Don't say Jimmy
watch
G.
This.
Let me know when you guys are ready.
Watch this. Yeah. Jimmy G's team just beat Aaron Rodgers' team.
There you go. Now we're ready.
That's way better. Yeah,
now
way
we're
better.
ready.
Let's go. Move on.
Oh, sorry, guys. Just sitting back, taking a nap. Colts, over under 9.5 wins with Matt Ryan at quarterback now.
You know, I'm going to go over in this one. Again, much like Mitch Trubisky, I believe in Matty Ice. I think he gets a rebirth. He gets refreshed again with Frank Reich. He's totally different than Carson Wentz. And I know you look at it, they're going to treat things differently than they did with Carson Wentz. They tried to put Carson Wentz in a situation to win games. Matt Ryan will not screw it up. He's not going to throw the ball and panic and just give the ball to another team backed up in his own end zone. It's just not going to happen.
Just seeing your face, just seeing your face when you say panic. Ah!
Because it's stupid, Jay. I almost cursed because that's like, man, he better be glad I wasn't on this team.
Just throw another shuffle past Carson Wentz. I'll go over. I think Matty Ice, I think he is going to be a huge upgrade over Carson Wentz. You have a dominant run game. You have an easier division. Over.
I think they got this just right. I think they're a 9 or 10 win team. I like Matt Ryan. There's a reason he's available. I don't think he's what he once was. I'll take the 10 wins. Sounds right to me for that team. I'll take the over.
We teased it. Defending champs, the Rams. Will the Rams have over or under 10.5 wins, Keith?
Over. Los Angeles Rams will have over 10.5 wins. I'm going to put them in that 12 to 13 category. Second seed type team.
Over. I'll say one of the best teams in the NFC. I think Cam Akers will be pivotal in this as well.
I think they got this right, too. I'll also take the over,
Yes.
but barely. I'll take the over. Yeah. So there you have it. There's your over-under. Guys, speaking of the Rams, one of the reasons they're looking pretty good right now after they lost Von Miller, and look, we all know Aaron Donald's the key to the defense. But Von Miller gets to the quarterback. But they replaced Von Miller with Bobby Wagner. Remember yesterday it was like Bobby Wagner's looking for an $11 million one-year deal. Oh, he got a 5-year, $50 million deal. It's worth up to $65 million.
How much is guaranteed?
According to Adam Schefter. I don't have that information.
Okay.
But you're right.
$50+ million.
50+ million guaranteed?
Yeah.
So if that's the guarantee, that's all a contract is the guarantee, right? So Bobby Wagner staying in the NFC West. Guys, he's not great anymore. I think he's still pretty good, though. I like Bobby Wagner on a defense. So,
I would still consider him great. I mean, he had a little bit of a down year. He had 170 tackles, Max. He's 10 years in the league, 8 Pro Bowls, and he still made second-team All-Pro this year. And second-team All-Pro, he's only 31 years old. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, you look at him, he can still go. There's no question about it.
Key, can you explain something to me? Because I get confused. How the hell do the Rams keep paying everybody? I know you always say kick the can down the road, but Aaron Donald gets a crazy deal. Matthew Stafford gets a crazy deal. Now you see this with Bobby Wagner. How does that actually happen with the hard cap?
Well, Aaron Donald's about to get another crazy deal. The first crazy deal was several years ago. Now this one's going to be crazier. They're going to have to address Cooper Kupp. They brought in Allen Robinson. They bring in Bobby Wagner. When you got deep pockets like an owner like Stan Kroenke, it's all about cash. And he has the cash to be able to do it. And they know that the salary cap is going to continue to go up every single year, Jay. And so they're projecting those numbers and forecasting those numbers every single year. They're saying to themselves, okay, this is the number we're going to be dealing with in 2022, 23, 24. Let's bake this in here. Let's move things around. And when you can go and renegotiate players' contracts because your owner has that cheddar, then he says, okay, I'll guarantee all that money.
Key, let's rewind for a second. NFL is a hard cap league, right? And you always say there's no salary cap, But and you explain, what you just explained. It keeps inflating, so you look forward. Oh, it's going to go up, so we can seemingly overpay for this guy or that guy. But what you just said, Kroenke has deep pockets, right? I think a lot of people out there listening are thinking
everybody got deep pockets, right?
Right, they own NFL teams, right? And not only that, but you have to spend at least 90% of the cap or something like that, right? You can't go over 100. So everyone's within 10% of each other. Why do people talk about Kroenke or Jerry Jones like, oh, he has a rich owner? Wouldn't that make them all the same, basically?
No, because a lot of owners got deep cash. Like, they're liquid. Like, Stan Kroenke is liquid. Like, he can go to the bank with no problem at all, where some other owners, they got to get credit lines. And it sounds weird. Like, when you think about it, you look at the landscape of the 32 owners, some of the deeper pocket guys, the Paul Allen family up in Seattle, or David Tepper in Carolina. Jerry Jones is cash rich now. And then other owners have so many partners, like the Raiders. They have minority partners in there. When you look at the Giants and the Jets, It's all about the Giants and the Jets. They got cash there. When you look at the Giants and the Jets, they don't cheap out on paying players. They go out in free agency. If there's somebody there, they get it and do it.
Can you explain? Oh, okay. We're going to get into this a little bit later in the show. It's very interesting. But okay, Key, can you explain why cash is king, right? When you fully guarantee
Up
money,
front, right? That's
what
some money up
happens?
front.
What happens? Like they have to put it in escrow immediately, the whole amount?
Well, it just depends on how they want to do it. So, for instance, when you look at Deshaun Watson's deal, $230-some million of guaranteed money, that particular money may go into an escrow account for a number of reasons. They may do that because they're guaranteeing it, there's insurance backing it, but it also is saying that something is interesting with this contract, so we want to wait and see. Now, I'm sure in those guarantees, there's different clauses if things happen that money gets taken away. A lot of the owners, though, when you look at Stephen Ross is flush enough to continue to spend big money on Tyreek Hill to be able to say, in 24 months, I'm going to give Tyreek Hill $72 million. I can do that. When other owners are not as cash flush, I remember playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Glazer family. They were not cash flush at the time because they went out and they bought the Manchester United. So my deal had to work with their cash flow in terms, and it sounds weird, but it had to work with their cash flow for them to be able to pay me my signing bonus, and I had to be okay with it to be able to do it.
Almost like financing a car, right? Oh, I want to go put this amount of money down, but I can finance it over a certain amount of years. Whereas you can say, hey, Key, I want to buy this car cash right now.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter because ain't none of them going and eating bologna anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. But it does matter
Unless
for
they
fan
want to.
bases. What you're talking about matters for fan bases. If you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, of the Panthers, of who else did you mention? Of the Rams, you never have to worry about your owner not being liquid enough to put a giant number in escrow so to fully guarantee a contract. And that does make it easier to get certain players,
well,
right?
It does. And you see it like Arthur Blank, he doesn't have a problem writing that check. Daniel Snyder, for many years, never had a problem guaranteeing money and giving signing bonuses in X amount of days for present value's sake. It's just different owners do it differently depending on the structure of the ownership group.
I mean, it's interesting to me. It tells you something about certain. Like, I wonder when you see Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh, and the Rooney family is one of the great old, original NFL families, right? But I wonder, does that have something to do with them not having like that new Tepper money, right? Like that the kind of liquid that can let you go out and do what the Browns did, for example. Hey, they wanted Deshaun Watson. And whatever you think about whether or not Deshaun Watson should be playing given the open 22 civil cases alleging serious stuff, the fact is he is going to play at some point. And the Browns could say, okay, let's get this done. Here's $230 million fully guaranteed.
Sits in escrow. I have to put that in escrow. That's out of my account, sitting there.
That's not
while I'm paying other players on the team.
That doesn't sound like something, say, the Pittsburgh.
There's no question about it. They are the majority owner, and they've taken up some minority owners. And so every now and then, much like the Raiders, you have to go make cash calls when there's times, when you need to make big purchases, so to speak. You've got to go to some of those other deep pocket guys to have those conversations about, hey, we want to sign this guy. I need to get $150 million over the next 4 years, and each individual needs to put in a piece to make this thing happen.
Keyshawn, J. Will and Max is presented by Progressive Insurance. I could geek out on that stuff all day long, man. Let's get to another big story from yesterday in the NFL.
Bruce Arians announcing he's stepping down. Defensive coordinator Todd Bowles being promoted to the head coaching job.
Tom Brady prefers the structured disciplinarian. Todd Bowles can probably do a little bit more structured than Bruce Arians.